Hey guys, I'm Jason Inman, and I recap The Flash Season 3 every week. But since there isn't an episode this week, I thought I would break down and predict the most obvious suspects for the identity of Dr. Alchemy in The Flash. Now before we get into the show and the predictions, let's learn a little bit about Dr. Alchemy in the comics. First appearing in April of 1958, Albert Desmond is a chemist with an identity disorder. One side of his brain is a criminal, and one side is a good guy. He's originally a villain called Mr. Element, but after spending some time in jail, he escapes and he finds the Philosopher's Stone. It basically has the power to reconstruct the molecular properties of inanimate matter into the properties of another element. So essentially, it can change things into other things. And we've already seen it a couple of times in The Flash Season 3. Okay, so back to the comics. Albert renames himself Dr. Alchemy and commits crimes until his good personality takes over and stops him. Thank you, good personality. But soon, a new Dr. Alchemy appears, and that alchemy is revealed to be Alvin Desmond, Albert's identical twin brother. And after that, the twin brother is revealed to be nothing more than a construct made by the Philosopher's Stone. Remember when I said it could make things? And Albert, once this is revealed, becomes Dr. Alchemy again. Now, knowing the weird stuff from the comics and from what we've seen in the first 5 episodes of The Flash Season 3, let's break down who I think Dr. Alchemy is. First off, let's take this player out of the running. No, I do not think that H.R. Wells is Dr. Alchemy, nor so do I think that any other version of Harrison Wells is Dr. Alchemy either. There's just really no evidence to support that theory. The second suspect a lot of people are thinking is Eddie Thawne as Dr. Alchemy. I'm gonna say no to this. Again, there is no evidence to support this theory, and it would be a really big left turn, especially since Barry and Iris are now finally dating. And you really don't want to reintroduce the old lover to throw a monkey wrench into that relationship. Let's talk about the main suspect, Julian Alpert, brand new character to Season 3, played by a guy that was a villain in another franchise. Check. Doesn't like metahumans. Check. But isn't this a little too obvious? I think so. I also think this is a little too simple, and the writers of The Flash really love to throw us curveballs with their villains. So I say yes and no to Julian Alpert being Dr. Alchemy. Here's why. Because the names are just too similar. Albert Desmond and Julian Alpert. I think that Dr. Alchemy is Julian Alpert, but he's not the Julian Alpert that we know. He's the Julian Alpert from the Flashpoint timeline. Let's say that Julian Alpert of the Flashpoint timeline, he was Dr. Alchemy, he was a criminal in that timeline, but when he saw that Barry was changing the timeline, boom, the Philosopher's Stone protects him from the changes in the timeline, and now he's stuck in the original show timeline. So he's using the stone to change things back to his original timeline. By making Dr. Alchemy the Julian Alpert from the Flashpoint timeline, we get to keep a slight nod to the comic book origin, yet update it in a way that the Flash TV show likes to do. Kind of like what they did with Harrison Wells being Eobard Thawne in Season 1, and Jay Garrick turning out to be Hunter Zolomon in Season 2. So I want to know, do you think I'm right or wrong? Do you think that Dr. Alchemy is the Julian Alpert from the Flashpoint timeline? Let me know in the comments below, and also give me some ideas for future theories that you would like me to tackle. Make sure you subscribe if you like this theory, because I say lots of them in our Flash recap show every single week, and in our new DC TV recap show where we cover every CW DC TV show that will happen every Friday. So until then, I'm Jason Inman, and see you in the Speed Force, friends.